Imagine this. Gold has always been seen as the ultimate safe investment, the timeless asset that never loses its shine. But what if I told you there are pistols out there climbing in value even faster than gold itself? That's right. Certain handguns, once overlooked or tucked away in collections, are now skyrocketing in price, with collectors and investors scrambling to get their hands on them. In today's video, we're counting down the 10 pistols rising in value faster than gold. And trust me, when you see number 1, you'll understand why it's shocking everyone in the firearms world. But before we dive in, let me ask you a favor. If you enjoy content like this, don't forget to hit that like button. Drop a comment to let me know which pistol you'd add to your collection. And of course, subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any of our upcoming deep dives into rare and fascinating firearms. Alright, let's get started. Number 10. Smith & Wesson Registered Magnum, Model 27. At number 10, we start with a revolver that has become the stuff of legends among collectors. The Smith & Wesson Registered Magnum, better known today as the Model 27. When it was first introduced back in the 1930s, this revolver wasn't just another handgun, it was a statement piece. Each one was custom-ordered, meticulously hand-fitted, and shipped with a registration certificate that matched the revolver's serial number. That level of craftsmanship and exclusivity is something we rarely see in mass-produced firearms today. What makes the registered Magnum so desirable isn't just its history as the original .357 Magnum revolver, but also its place in American firearms culture. It was marketed as the most powerful handgun of its time, designed for lawmen, outdoorsmen, and those who wanted something extraordinary. Famous figures, including law enforcement legends, carried these revolvers, adding to their mystique. Today, when one of these early registered models comes up for sale, collectors go absolutely wild. Prices have consistently climbed, and it's not unusual to see pristine examples fetching many thousands of dollars at auction, sometimes outpacing the growth of traditional investments like gold. And unlike gold, which is just a commodity, each registered Magnum tells a story. Its condition, original paperwork, and even who owned it can dramatically affect its value. For investors and collectors alike, the Smith & Wesson Registered Magnum represents the perfect mix of rarity, craftsmanship, and cultural importance. That's why it earns the number 10 spot on our list of pistols rising in value faster than gold. Number 9. Walther PPK, Early Production Models. Sliding into number 9, we have one of the most recognizable pistols in the world, the Walther PPK. At first glance, this compact German handgun might seem like just another small pistol, but its story, heritage, and cultural impact have turned it into a serious collector's item. Introduced in the early 1930s, the PPK was revolutionary for its time. It was one of the first truly practical concealed carry pistols, offering a compact size, reliable blowback design, and excellent craftsmanship. It quickly became favored by European police forces, military officers, and even high-ranking officials during World War II. That historical connection alone gives it significant weight in the collector's market. But what really sets the Walther PPK apart is its role in popular culture. Thanks to the James Bond films, this little pistol became an icon of sophistication and intrigue. When Sean Connery first pulled out his PPK on screen in Dr. No, the gun went from being just another German sidearm to a symbol of style, espionage, and timeless cool. That association still drives collector demand today. Now, here's where the value aspect comes in. Early production PPKs, especially those made in pre-war Germany, or ones with wartime markings and provenance, have been steadily climbing in price. A pristine example with original grips, finish, and matching serial numbers can fetch thousands of dollars at auction. Certain rare variants, like those engraved or presented to Nazi officers, can go for tens of thousands, outpacing the annual growth of gold by a wide margin. Collectors love the Walther PPK because it checks every box: compact, historic, culturally significant, and rare in the right condition. Add in the bond factor, and you've got a pistol that continues to rise in value. A true investment piece disguised as a pocket gun. That's why the Walther PPK secures the number 9 spot on our list. Number 8. Luger P08 Parabellum Pistol. At number 8, we arrive at a pistol that's instantly recognizable, even to people who don't normally follow firearms history. The Luger P08, also known as the Parabellum pistol. With its distinct toggle lock mechanism and sleek, almost futuristic profile for its era, the Luger became one of the most iconic sidearms of the 20th century. First adopted by the German military in 1908, the Luger served through both World War I and World War II, making it deeply connected to history. Soldiers from the Allied side often considered the Luger a prized war trophy, something to bring home as proof of victory. That wartime association, combined with its unique engineering, cemented its legendary status among collectors. What makes the P08 so valuable today is the sheer variety of models and markings. There are military Lugers, commercial Lugers, rare naval and artillery versions, and highly sought-after presentation pieces. Each variant tells a different story, and scarcity drives prices sharply upward. For example, an ordinary wartime Luger in decent condition might bring in a few $1,000s. But rare variants, such as those with matching numbers, original holsters, or unique production codes, can easily fetch 5 figures at auction. Over the past decade, the appreciation of collectible Lugers has outpaced traditional commodities like gold. Unlike bullion, each pistol carries historical weight, mechanical uniqueness, and a tangible story from a turbulent era. Collectors aren't just buying a firearm, they're buying a piece of world history. And as surviving examples in excellent condition become harder to find, values continue to climb. The Luger P08 embodies everything a collector looks for: distinctive design, combat pedigree, rarity, and global recognition. That's why it earns the number 8 spot on our list of pistols rising in value faster than gold. Number 7. Colt Single Action Army Peacemaker. Taking the number 7 spot is a revolver so legendary that it's often called the gun that won the West. The Colt Single Action Army, more famously known as the Peacemaker. Few firearms carry the same level of cultural, historical, and collector significance as this one. Introduced in 1873, the Peacemaker quickly became the sidearm of choice for cowboys, lawmen, outlaws, and soldiers alike. It was rugged, reliable, and chambered in powerful calibers like .45 Colt, making it the perfect tool for survival in the untamed American frontier. Its presence in dime novels, Western films, and countless stories of frontier justice elevated it from a mere weapon to a cultural symbol. From a collector's standpoint, the Colt Single Action Army is a gold mine, sometimes quite literally. First-generation models produced in the late 19th century are especially sought after, with values that have been steadily climbing for decades. A Peacemaker in original condition, with matching serial numbers and factory finishes, can easily command tens of thousands of dollars at auction. Add provenance. Say, if the revolver was carried by a famous lawman or outlaw, and the value can soar into the hundreds of thousands, even millions. What makes the Peacemaker rise in value so consistently is the combination of rarity, cultural weight, and limited supply. Unlike modern pistols that can be mass-produced indefinitely, first-generation Colt SAAS are finite. Each year, fewer remain in excellent condition, which means collectors are willing to pay more and more to secure one for their collection. While gold may be a safe hedge against inflation, it doesn't tell stories. A Colt Peacemaker, on the other hand, embodies the myths and realities of the Old West. Owning one is like holding a piece of American history in your hand. That's why this iconic revolver firmly holds its place at number 7 on our list of pistols rising in value faster than gold. Number 6. Sauer 38H. Coming in at number 6, we have a pistol that blends history, innovation, and rarity. The Sauer 38H. Produced in Germany starting in 1938, the H in its name stands for Hahn, meaning hammer, and it was one of the most advanced pistols of its time. While it may not be as universally recognized as the Luger or Walther PPK, the Sauer 38H holds a special place in the world of collectors because of its clever engineering and wartime heritage. What made this pistol stand out was its unique combination of features. It was among the very first double-action semi-automatic pistols in the world, decades ahead of many competitors. It also came with an ingenious decocking lever, something that would later become a standard on modern handguns, but was truly groundbreaking in the late 1930s. For its era, the Sauer 38H was compact, reliable, and technologically advanced. During World War II, the pistol was issued to German military officers, police, and even paratroopers. This association gives surviving examples an undeniable historical weight. But what makes it truly interesting for collectors is the variety. Early war models were manufactured with fine machining, high-quality bluing, and checkered grips. As the war dragged on, production quality declined due to resource shortages, resulting in late-war, rough-finish models. For collectors, those differences matter. Each version tells a story about the state of the war and German industry at the time. Today, original Sauer 38HS in excellent condition have been rising steadily in value. A standard specimen might fetch several $1,000s, while rare variants, particularly those with early production markings, factory documentation, or special unit engravings, can command far higher prices. For a pistol once overlooked in favor of more famous German sidearms, the Sauer 38H is quickly earning its place as a must-have collectible. Unlike gold, which is identical no matter where it comes from, every Sauer 38H has unique attributes: year of production, markings, finish, and history of use. That individuality makes it far more compelling for investors who want both a tangible asset and a piece of living history. And that's why the Sauer 38H lands securely at number 6 on our list of pistols rising in value faster than gold. Number 5. Steyr GB. At number 5, we find a pistol that was ahead of its time but never quite got the commercial success it deserved. The Steyr GB, produced in Austria during the late 1970s and early 1980s, the GB was originally designed to compete in military trials against heavyweights like the Beretta 92 and the SIG P226. While it ultimately lost out in those competitions, the story didn't end there. Today, the Steyr GB has transformed into a highly collectible pistol, with values climbing steadily as more collectors recognize its rarity and innovation. The GB stands for Gasbremse, which translates to gas brake. This refers to the pistol's unique gas-delayed blowback system, a design feature that was incredibly advanced for its time. Instead of relying solely on mechanical locking, the GB used gas pressure from the fired cartridge to slow the slide, reducing felt recoil and improving accuracy. That's the kind of engineering that makes collectors take notice, especially when compared to the more conventional designs of its era. Another thing that makes the Steyr GB attractive is its sheer size and capacity. This was a full-sized duty pistol with an 18-round magazine, one of the highest capacities available at the time. In the late 1970s, that kind of firepower was groundbreaking. Combine that with its sleek, almost futuristic lines, and you have a handgun that looked decades ahead of its peers. However, because it didn't win the military contracts it was designed for, production numbers remained relatively low. That limited supply is exactly why values are climbing today. What was once considered a failed design has become a prized collector's item. Pistols that used to sit unsold for a few $100s are now demanding prices in the thousands, with pristine examples continuing to rise as enthusiasts realize how rare they really are. Unlike gold, which is valued purely by weight, the Steyr GB carries value in innovation and scarcity. Collectors don't just see a pistol, they see a fascinating what-could-have-been story in firearms development. And that combination of technological uniqueness, historical curiosity, and limited availability is what secures the Steyr GB's spot at number 5 on our list of pistols rising in value faster than gold. Number 4. Mauser C96 Broomhandle. At number 4, we have one of the most distinctive and instantly recognizable pistols in history. The Mauser C96, often nicknamed the Broomhandle because of its uniquely shaped wooden grip. Produced from the late 1890s through the 1930s, the C96 is not only a firearm, but a mechanical work of art that marked a revolutionary step in pistol design. When it was introduced, the Mauser C96 was unlike anything else on the market. At a time when most sidearms were still revolvers, the C96 offered semi-automatic fire, a fixed 10-round internal magazine, and a wooden holster that doubled as a shoulder stock. This made it one of the earliest pistol carbines, decades before that concept became mainstream. Its futuristic profile and advanced design quickly caught the world's attention. The C96 was carried by soldiers, adventurers, and even revolutionaries across the globe. Winston Churchill famously carried one during the Battle of Omdurman, adding to its legendary status. Its use in conflicts spanning Europe, Asia, and beyond makes it a true international icon. Over time, the pistol became a symbol of both military innovation and old-world craftsmanship. For collectors, the value of a Mauser C96 lies in its incredible variety and history. There are standard military models, rare Red 9 versions chambered in 9mm, and even select-fire Schnellfeuer models with detachable magazines. Some were used by Chinese warlords, others by European officers, and each variant carries its own unique story. Condition, matching serial numbers, and originality are critical factors. A pristine Red 9, for example, can easily fetch well into the 5-figure range at auction. Over the years, the value of these pistols has steadily climbed, outpacing gold's steady but predictable growth. Unlike gold, which is just bullion, a C96 carries personality. It's a tangible link to history, craftsmanship, and global conflict. Every scratch and marking is part of its journey through time. The Mauser C96 isn't just a gun. It's a conversation piece, a collector's centerpiece, and a symbol of an era when firearms engineering leapt forward into modernity. That combination of innovation, rarity, and global significance is why the Mauser C96 Broomhandle lands firmly at number 4 on our list of pistols rising in value faster than gold. Number 3. Browning High Power, Belgian-made, early production. At number 3, we have a pistol that not only shaped the 20th century, but also continues to command serious respect among collectors. The Browning High Power. Designed by the legendary John Browning, and later completed by Dieudonné Saive of FN Herstal, the High Power was revolutionary when it debuted in the mid-1930s. This was one of the very first pistols to feature a double-stack magazine, holding 13 rounds of 9mm at a time. A massive leap forward compared to most service pistols of the era. Its combination of high capacity, excellent ergonomics, and reliability made it a favorite of militaries and police forces around the world. In fact, the High Power served in over 50 countries and remained in frontline use for nearly a century. That kind of pedigree doesn't just disappear. It cements the pistol's status as one of the most important sidearms ever made. For collectors, the real treasures are the Belgian-made early production models, especially those built before World War II. These pistols, produced under FN Herstal in Belgium, were manufactured with impeccable old-world craftsmanship, polished finishes, and hand-fitted parts. Wartime production models, especially those used by German forces after occupying Belgium, also carry high historical value. In today's market, a standard surplus High Power might still be relatively affordable, but the early Belgian-made versions have been steadily climbing in price. A pristine pre-war example can bring in several $1,000s, and rarer variants, such as those with original Nazi markings, presentation engravings, or military provenance, can soar well into 5 figures at auction. The reason their value is rising faster than gold is simple. The supply is finite. FN discontinued high-power production in 2018, and although modern clones exist, true Belgian-made originals, especially in excellent condition, are becoming harder to find. Collectors are increasingly viewing them as investment-grade firearms, with values that have consistently appreciated year after year. Unlike gold, which is uniform and impersonal, each Browning High Power tells a story. Whether it's of a soldier who carried it through war, a police officer who relied on it for decades, or a craftsman in Belgium who polished it by hand nearly a century ago. That fusion of history, innovation, and enduring reputation is what secures the Browning High Power the number 3 spot on our list of pistols rising in value faster than gold. 2. Colt Python, pre-2005 models, USA. Few handguns in history carry the same weight of prestige and desirability as the Colt Python. First introduced in 1955, the Python was marketed as Colt's premium revolver, a hand-fitted, meticulously crafted wheel gun designed for shooters who demanded nothing short of perfection. With its silky smooth double-action trigger, stunning blued or nickel finish, and accuracy that rivaled target pistols, the Python quickly earned its reputation as the Rolls-Royce of revolvers. What makes the pre-2005 models so valuable today is the fact that they represent the golden era of Colt craftsmanship. Unlike modern mass production methods, every Python of that period was hand-assembled and polished by Colt's master gunsmiths. The result? Revolvers that not only shot flawlessly, but also radiated artistry. When Colt discontinued production in 2005, it sent shockwaves through the firearms community. Suddenly, the already legendary Python became a finite commodity, and collectors pounced. For years, Pythons could be found on the used market for $1,500 to $2,000. Fast forward to today, and the story is entirely different. Depending on the condition, barrel length, and finish, pre-2005 Pythons now command anywhere from $4,000 to $10,000. with rare configurations or pristine, unfired examples exceeding $15,000. Limited runs, such as those with factory nickel plating or unusual barrel lengths, have become auction darlings, often selling for prices that rival luxury watches or classic cars. The Python's cultural presence has only added to its value. Featured in countless movies, TV shows, and perhaps most famously wielded by Rick Grimes in The Walking Dead, the revolver has cemented itself in popular imagination as the ultimate American wheel gun. Combine this pop culture fame with its mechanical excellence and limited supply, and you have the perfect recipe for skyrocketing demand. Even though Colt reintroduced the Python in 2020 with modern updates, seasoned collectors make a clear distinction. The pre-2005 originals are the true treasures. They embody an era when revolvers were at their peak of refinement and remain unmatched in both collectability and prestige. In the firearms investment world, very few pistols can claim the same trajectory of appreciation as the Colt Python. For those lucky enough to already own one, it's not just a revolver. It's a piece of American history that's rising in value faster than gold itself. 1. Colt 1911. U.S. military-issued World War I and World War II era. At the very top of our list is a pistol that isn't just a firearm, it's a living legend. The Colt 1911, especially U.S. military-issued models from World War I and World War II, has become one of the most sought-after and fastest-appreciating pistols in the collector's market today. Designed by the legendary John Browning and officially adopted by the U.S. military in 1911, this sidearm served American soldiers for decades, carried through 2 world wars, Korea, and even into Vietnam. What makes these pistols so special is their blend of historical significance, cultural symbolism, and enduring performance. Each government-issued 1911 isn't just a gun, it's a piece of history that may have ridden in the holster of a doughboy storming the trenches of France, or a GI hitting the beaches of Normandy. That battlefield connection gives these pistols an aura that no modern firearm can replicate. Collectors today are in a frenzy for authentic examples. Standard-issue WWI Colts that once sold for under $2,000 now routinely fetch $5,000 to $8,000, depending on condition and originality. But it doesn't stop there. Rare variations, such as Black Army 1911s, transitional models, or pistols with original provenance, say, tied to a specific unit or officer, can bring in tens of thousands of dollars at auction. Even more, documented pistols connected to famous battles or decorated veterans can cross the 6-figure threshold. Adding fuel to the fire is the reality that these pistols are finite. Unlike modern reproductions or civilian variants, true government-issued 1911s from the World Wars are disappearing into private collections and museums. Each year, fewer are available on the open market, making every surviving example exponentially more desirable. The Colt 1911 also remains iconic in American culture. From classic war films to modern action movies, its silhouette is instantly recognizable. And even beyond its collectability, the 1911's reputation as one of the most reliable, accurate, and battle-proven pistols ever designed makes it a timeless symbol of American craftsmanship and military might. So why does it rise in value faster than gold? Because gold is just a commodity. A Colt 1911 from World War II, on the other hand, is a tangible link to history, a mechanical work of art, and a piece of heritage that embodies freedom and sacrifice. For collectors, investors, and patriots alike, it's simply priceless.